Hello. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our video of Venus and Saturn in the second house of your birth chart. As in, what happens when you have this conjunction in the second house, right? And yes, this particular video has been delayed for now 2 weeks. Hey, it's Saturn. You gotta abide by the rules of Saturn. And as always, if you do not know if you have this particular conjunction, what sign it's in, what nakshatra it's in, along with all your astrological details, check out the links here, astrology.com, where you'll find my books, reports, consultations, and link to my academy, Vedic Astrology Academy, where I'm currently just finished Nandi Nadi course and finished the wristwatch and wealth course to show you how this device changes. It's like a vastu on your wrist. It's the most alive amulet on your wrist. So definitely is becoming one of the most successful courses out there. So anyway, Venus and Saturn. So one of the things you will see right after your birth, family begin to work hard and make money. Now, of course, if there's like three planetary conjunction, that will definitely change everything. But if you're talking these two planets, just in the second, this is a yoga for wealth. And the person gains wealth, especially in their 30s. And the wealth, see, most of the time we're looking for money. Most of the time, the easy way, right? Like especially now, whether it's India, whether it's US, whether it's any country, people are thinking, I want to create some app, create some kind of like a company where now, once it's released, I can sit back and just enjoy my money. It's like that residual income. That doesn't happen with this. With Venus and Saturn, see, Saturn is work. Saturn is commitment and work. And when it's attached to Venus, it says you'll make a lot of money. But you'll make money by working. You have to work to accumulate your wealth and money. Now, if once you are making the money and you invest it and it grows, and that too, when Venus is with Saturn, do not just try to think that you can jump into trading. A lot of people nowadays have this fever of trading and making money because you watch somebody else on YouTube and Instagram who said, I can do this for you, I can do that for you. And I did this, I did that just from trading. I went from, 1,000 rupees to 500 crores, or I went from $1,000 to $800 million. It's all about someone's chart. It's all about somebody's yogas in their chart. You can't replicate those things. This is why once you know astrology, none of the things that you watch, you can believe in those, because you're like, is my constitution made for that? So your constitution is made to work for money. And especially in the second house, you will see money will either come through family business, doing something that the tradition has been followed by with a family that you continue and you make money from it. So most of the time when people want to run away from their father's business, I want to do this, I want to do that. And if I see some placement, I'm like, why? You continue this and you're going to make money. And this is where most people's consciousness fall apart. Why is that? Because the mind is telling you to do something, because that's what the mind wants, to enjoy something when it does something. Okay? And your Jupiter is telling you this is who you are. Now you're going to have to deal with this. But then your Venus and Saturn is saying this is where work and money is coming from. So especially in the second house, which is naturally the house of storing money, one becomes very good with dealing with banking, investments in their life. If you have an elder brother, especially elder brother, after your birth shows elder brother is guaranteed to have money. Lot of money. The other thing, second house is also your food, the food that you take. And this is where this person runs into a bit of this setback. On one end, one wants to eat nice, wealthy, rich food. but the body can digest it because Saturn is there. Saturn will represent something which is more simple, something which is even stale. And this Saturn Venus mix together will show that a person will pretty much enjoy eating food that is kind of delayed. Like usually such people will eat food after it has cooked, they'll wait 2-3 hours. They'll be like, I'll eat later. So usually they will end up eating like cold food. And especially because, and depends upon how Saturn is, front or behind, it will say, you eat rich and lavish food. Now I'm going to create tremendous amount of gas in you. You will see whenever you eat anything which is like from a nice restaurant, nice steakhouse, something lavish, tremendous gas gets built up. Because Saturn is going to do its karkavasta, its tattva is there. And Venus is tattva there. Venus is like, I need something rich. I need something nice. Saturn says, I don't want that. And the thing is, Venus will have to kind of abide by the laws of Saturn because Saturn is much bigger in size with Venus compared to Venus. Saturn holds a very strong gravitational force compared to Venus. So the gravity of the planet will show maximum result in a conjunction. And there's only two planets, if you really look at it, is Jupiter and Saturn. Like, of course, you can talk about Uranus and Neptune in this particular thing as well, which will also be quite unique. There's you can't count them out. I've seen a lot of things with those things, especially with Venus and Venus being with other planets. The other thing, because it's in the second house of collecting valuable, a person wants nice things, right? You will see this person in their mid 30s, like especially after 36, will love to collect antique yet fine furniture. They will, if they go, like for example, you talk about watches. Somebody has Venus and Saturn. They will like to own some vintage watch. They will like to own like Paul Newman's Rolex Daytona, which sold for literally 6-7 million. But see, it's old, but it's valuable. This is where this person will store those particular things. They'll love storing those things. For example, even old coins, because Venus is money. Venus is liquid cash. Usually, if let's say Mars somehow is in this, because Mars represents the coin part. So definitely one will get into collecting coins. And because Venus is in the second house, okay, such people will usually, early in life, will not speak too much in front of people. But especially later in life, they will speak, but they will speak in such a way that it becomes very cold and straightforward. There's straightforwardness in the person's sweetness. You must have come across these people in your lifetime if you have lived over 40. That this person just told me something so direct, yet they were nice about that. That's Venus and Saturn working together. Venus and Saturn also shows a person will love to create something through machines. Whether it's sewing, whether, let's say, for example, you have Venus, Saturn, and Sun, somehow connection. Person will love making candles. And to make candles, you need some kind of a machine. But the thing is, if you're talking in modern terms, what exactly a person is going to gain their wealth through, it's going to be through the manifestation of wealth. Money management, economics, banking, investment banking. Venus, and especially, this is the particular placement, love for classical music, classical literature, classical poetry will come about. because every artistic skill within the second house that Venus owns now has to become connected with something which is older. So even if this person is, let's say, a musician in 2024, you will see somehow they will have some tone, some musical tone, some way of singing, which is kind of like reminds you of 1970s, 60s, 50s, 80s type music. Because that's where their energy will flow. You will also see your spouse will be very conservative with money. Because spouse, you're especially in a man's chart, a wife will always feel this fear with money. Money can just go away. I have to store money. I have to save money. Now, if it's in the sign of Capricorn, it'll probably be a very different thing. But mostly all other places is going to show that spouse is going to have strong old school values related to money and family. They're going to want to treat their family in a very traditional way. But spouse will also become very rebellious. Like once they are set on something, they're set on something. They're not going to want to change. Especially you will see if you have this conjunction of Saturn and Venus, after marriage, spouse will gain weight. They will gain weight. And especially it's going to be obviously in this area. And especially the wife is definitely you're going to get a working spouse. Somebody who is wanting to work, wanting to make money and work hard towards what they're doing. They cannot, even if let's say somebody does not work, wants to stay home, raise the kids, they're still going to do the most work that they can. But then also with Venus and Saturn, wife is going to love sleeping in the middle of the day. They're going to love having their rest in the middle of the day. And especially when it comes to, like, even if you say vehicle and luxury, usually this person will like to buy used car, older vehicle. The home is going to be old. It's not, if you get a brand new home, like a new construction, you're not going to last there more than 3-4 years. You're ultimately going to move, get yourself a house where somebody else lived previously. And there may even be stones in front of the house, like a stone type structure. You may have a darker roof with this particular placement of Venus and Saturn. And especially, although this doesn't really even matter in most countries now, okay, but you may get like a water tank in the west direction of the home. Storage of a water tank, and that water tank is going to be black color. And because Venus and Saturn are together, most likely your spouse is either going to come from exactly west or east direction from where you live, if it's the second house. And usually you will see, especially in east direction, this person is going to put some valuable old furniture or some decor or item. This is more going into that Astrovastu type of thing. Okay. But especially when it comes to money, you're going to get money. But money comes after Saturn has crossed degrees of Venus. Like in the second round of Saturn, that's when this will happen. Okay. And second round, I mean, only after 31, 32, this will take place. And there's a major turning point between 30 to 32 where you have to go through this burning transition point in order to get your money. Okay. So anyway, guys, this was my analysis of Venus and Saturn in the second house. So if you're new to my channel, subscribe below so you don't miss this type of videos. So if you want to know everything about your chart, consultations, my academy, check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.